got my cameo charm on here still. This was from my friend Shaz. Believe she sent it to me for my birthday. Yes, she did. She sent it to me for my birthday. This is my lovely sparkly German Shepherd charm. Looks like my Gypsy. It's exactly the same shape as Gypsy. It's very cute. And that's just held on with a little binder clip. Yes, binder clips leave a mark on your metal, a mark on your leather. No, I don't care. It's handy. I have 2 pen loops. I use the Leuchtturn pen loops. I've got one on the front, one on the back. They stick like nobody's business. They fit just about any pen. My safaris and everything fit in here. Because they're elasticated, you can even get the friction pens in there. They're great little pen loops, and they do stick properly, but you can also remove them with a bit of elbow grease and you won't damage your leather. So in my pen loops I have just my highlighter. This is a yellow friction highlighter, and my Parker Jotter ballpoint that's been my trusty companion since I started high school in the 80s. Yes, still using my pen from high school. This is the primary reason why I keep one of these on the front, is because this is where I put my notes. These are just some cute note paper things that I found that were free to print on the internet. I can never remember where any of this stuff came from, but I always, if I print something out, I pin it on my Pinterest board. So if you go and follow me on Pinterest, Romany, I have a free printables board on there that you can follow, and anything like that you see where I say, yeah, it's a free printable, I printed off the internet, I've got the original link. I always link to the original thing. So then I've got my craft notebook. I've got 3 notebooks in here set up with the normal configuration, you know, 2 together on a band and 1 in the middle. I don't tend to put any more than that in this one because it gets too heavy, and I like to carry this one about with me. My green one, my Raidori, has about 9 notebooks in it because it's bigger. He deliberately cut it wider for me so that I could stuff it to the hilt. But this one, generally I only carry the 3. It's a little bit more stuffed at the moment than it would normally be because it's coming to the end of the month. So I have like, well, it's coming to the end of the quarter actually. So I've got April, May, June and July, August, September. So it's a crossover, June to July. So it will get thinner by 1 notebook. Craft folder with my contact details on, just some my diary stickers that I like to use. These are the ones that I use in my diary, which I'll show you in a minute. I've got my notebook. This is one of the lightweight paper notebooks, and everything goes in here. Everything, sticky notes, things I've read, things I want to buy, book recommendations, room layouts, anything. This is my brain dump book. Then I've got, oh, sorry, that's got an address on it. I'll just get rid of that. I've got some spare sheets of paper and something that I have to, if I put it in that way, something that I have to give to somebody that I mustn't forget, and I'm likely to see them when I've got this in my hand. And then I've just got here my highlighter sticky notes that I like to use and my 2014 calendar. Oh, and a £30 off at Liberty of London voucher. I've never been in Liberty's. I suspect that's only there because I thought it was pretty. On the back of here I've stuck some post-its. Now somebody was saying the other day, I can't remember exactly who, I think it might have been, oh, no, I'm going to get her name wrong, aren't I? Ma Bigayan? Something like that. Her name's something like that. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong. Was asking about how to get sticky notes to stick. Well, what you do is you get yourself one of these. This has repositionable sticky dots in it, and you know, some of these post-it notes just, they don't stick for anything. Once you've unstuck them from something, so you've got them on a big stack and you unstick some and you stick it on something, they tend to fall off. Get some repositionable glue runner, put it on the back, and when you get to the last one, you can peel off the last one, use it, and replace them with something else. As opposed to, a lot of people say they glue it down, but if you do that, you end up with a sticky note left at the end. This way, you end up with a sticky note that you can use. And that is my little creative quickie for the day. These are some sticky notes that I think these were from Joanne Sharp as well. I love these, they're so cute. There's this little budgie. I think he's a little budgie, he's got an acorn. And then this one, this red heart, can you see the different designs on there? Isn't it pretty? I really like that. So yeah, I just shoved those in there. I like to use them in my notebook just to, because otherwise it would just be writing. It would just look like this all the way through. So I stick in sticky notes because I write a lot and I write very small and very densely. It would all look like this, and it would be very difficult to find things. So like this, I just stuck that on with a book recommendation. And I stuck it down with this stuff because they don't stick very well at all. All my books are decorated with random pictures from magazines that I just like. I love the colours in this. I thought he was really, really beautiful. I've got a gorgeous doll on here. Isn't she's cute with her little fox? A fox is a recurring theme in here. Because I used to have when I had my orange band, I had my little fox as well. But he started getting really grubby and dirty and horrible, so I took him off and I've swapped him for something else because I won't be able to use him if he gets much grubbier. Then I've got, this is a new notebook actually. I swapped this out for my journal, my art journal that I was scribbling in. That's in my green book now with my study notes. This is a lined notebook that is going to house my lists. So at the moment I've got books I want to buy and read, recipes I want to try, my bullet journal list. I don't do bullet journaling like everybody else does bullet journaling. I split it up into different places. I'll talk about that another time. This is long-term stuff that I think of. I've got my waiting for list, so I just write, you know, the day I've purchased something, what it is, where it's coming from, when it's been dispatched, I tick it off. And when it arrives, I will cross it out. Then, so I'm just setting this one up at the moment. And then at the back of this book, I'll show you this in a minute. Right, this is personal stuff at the front. So books I want to read, recipes I want to make, that kind of thing. At the back here, I'm going to put things like, things that I need to access regularly but I can never remember, like my web codes, my passwords, my project lists, lists of things that I want to do reviews for, that sort of stuff. And then at the back, I've got my someday maybe list for long-term stuff that I can't do right now. Now in the middle of this, and it's just shoved in under the band and it's unbound, so that's the middle of the notebook, and then I've just put in this pretty paper. It's really nice, isn't it? It's got like little shiny butterflies on it. It's really lovely. This is the day on 2 pages from DIY Fish Life Mapping 2.1 2.2, and I've just printed it out as day on 2 pages with a view to using this for my work notes. So I've been writing, this is July, this why there's nothing in it, you'll see June in a minute. I've been writing class notes in here and what prompts and what's going live and YouTube things there. So activities, to-dos, appointments, and I keep a record of my work hours as well. And then here I just write notes because I write random scribbles and things throughout the day, and sometimes I need those random scribbles back. And sometimes the random scribbles end up looking like this. And then I end up with a pile of this and it drives me crackers. So I thought, I'll put it here, I'll put it on there, and then if there's anything I need to keep from here, because this is a working document, I can chuck this away when I'm done with it. if there's anything in here I need to keep, I can just take that one sheet and put it in everything. Our new neighbours are so noisy. He's got a motorbike and a drum kit and young children and a very loud car and a very loud voice. Anyway, it'll be better when we can shut the windows, but it's too hot. So yeah, that's just July. In the middle of my notebook, unbound, that way I can, you know, when I get halfway through July I can start slipping August in there as well, and you know how it works. Then I've got my plastic wallet around the back of this on my last notebook. This is just something cute that somebody made me and I really liked it. One of the kids made me that and I just really liked it, so I cut it out and stuck it in here because it's pretty, isn't it? She drew it and coloured it herself. Well, she didn't draw it, she coloured it herself. It was printed out. And then in here I've just got some to-do lists. These are my cute little... I don't know where they came from. Oh, paperglitter.com. They're free printables. They're on my... Oh, I think I mentioned already. It's these. Yeah, they're on my Pinterest board. Now this is my current journal. I'm using my DIY fish inserts. This bit here is my new DIY Fish 2.2 upgrade. She's sent out, if you've purchased DIY Fish 2.1, you automatically get the upgrade to 2.2. It's just pretty colours basically. This is July to August, so a heck of a lot thinner than it was before. It was 4 times the size of that before for the same amount of months. I only had 1 month in there at a time and it was the same thickness. So now I've got July, August, September, which is much better. And here I've just got the tail end of my June. So these are the ones that you already saw. So I had May and June. And then I just had the fold out sheet for July and August. So I haven't wasted anything, you know, I've just swapped them over for the new ones. This is my personal stuff. So this is where I use my stickers, my diary stickers. So film, movie night, pet pictures. The little rabbit is to do with the pets. Absolutely nothing that week. I've got a little pet sticker there, so that's a vet appointment, a computer sticker, a little purse sticker for the days I pay bills and things, tablet renewals, so I got little tablet stickers, you know, that kind of stuff. And then my weekly chart. A lot of people have been asking how you use the monthly chart versus the weekly chart. For me, I use the monthly chart for things I need to do several times throughout the month, and I'd quite like to track when I do it to make sure that I do it, like the hoovering. Because we've got wood floors, so I tend to sweep rather than hoover, but I tend to sweep for weeks on end and not hoover. So I like to track, you know, when I've done things, but I also track things like I've got my social media stuff, so when I've done a YouTube video, when I've done a Witchy Wednesday, Journal Gypsies, class stuff. I log on here when I've recorded class videos. I've got birthdays and holidays, and then I've got all my bills, and then I've got a blue section here that is for household stuff, things like when the bins are due and things like that, but for some reason I didn't write it on here. I don't know why I didn't write it on here, but I didn't write it on here. I normally do. I write it on here. That might explain why I haven't hoovered. See, if I don't track it, I don't do it. And then my weekly chart is for stuff that I need to do just this week, or that I need to do on a specific day. So for instance, I regularly order dog food. I've got a shop around the corner in the village that orders my dog food and he delivers it. So I mark on here, because that is 2 or 3 times a month and it costs me money, so I put it under bills and I put in here when I've ordered dog food. that happens several times throughout the month. But when I pay the dog food, only happens on a specific day. So I go in and I pay my dog food bill all in one go once a month. So I put that on my chart for the appropriate week. Printing out July's inserts, that's only going to be done once, hopefully. So that went on this week. Getting keys cut for my new flatmates, paying bills. I do pay my bills, I log my bills on here and how much I've paid them, but I write them on here as a reminder, don't forget to go and pay X amount over there. And then I also write, I've mentioned this before, I write on when I'm going to be working, and I use a star for that, because if I'm doing anything that's really, really important, I highlight it in yellow, otherwise I wouldn't see it. So, for instance, this is setting up part 1 of a class and part 2 of a class, and I work out when I'm going to do it, and then this just says set up class 1 to 15, set up class 16 to 30. My Filofax has all the information of what that all is, what class 1 is, what class 2 is, what class 3 is, what I need to set up, what the links are, all that kind of thing. So my working document is in my Filofax, and that's just note paper. I don't bother logging everything in my Filofax anymore because it's all in here, which is why I've popped this in here, because this is going to be my working document. So during the day, what I found was using this in my Filofax, I'd write on what I needed to do, and then I'd get sort of halfway through and realise that I wasn't marking it off. I was writing it on another list, or I was writing on another piece of paper, or I was jotting it over here, or something. It was just, I couldn't get to grips with it. So now I've got my day on 2 pages and my monthly in my Filofax that tells me what classes are running when, what new students have booked in, what each class is, what the links are for a particular class, etc, etc, etc. And then this will be, you know, this is the class that's going live today. Has it gone live? Yes. Have I checked into class? Yes. Have I dealt with all the emails and student critiques? Yes. Who have I done critiques for? Write them down. So this is more of a what have I done today list rather than what's going on today list, because if I just go by my what's going on today list, I tend to find I look like I haven't done a lot of work, and I know I'm doing work, so I want to know where my time is going. This is kind of a hybrid system with what Carrie does. Carrie Harling, link below. I'm sure you already know who she is, but she kind of has her Filofax as her work document, and then she tracks things elsewhere, and that's what I'm, you know, this is where if I phone somebody, I make notes here. If I have set up a class and I need to email somebody and say, hey, this wasn't part of the information that you sent and you need to send this document, I write that in there, and then when I've emailed them, I cross it off. Whereas the bits that tell me exactly what class that is, who's doing it, who's running it, when it goes live, how many students are logged into it, etc, is all in my Filofax. So that's working a lot better for me. So this is work management, and that's class management and student management. And because I didn't want to put 4 notebooks in, I just shoved it in the middle of my plain notebook. So then July, and I know a lot of people have been curious about this, I actually set up my June the same to try it out, and this is July. This is the new 2.2s. I've printed them out. This is the personal size Filofax, sized up to 115% on A4 paper. An A4 paper, again this is a common query, an A4 sheet of paper, which looks like that way is exactly the right height for a Midori notebook, and that way is exactly the right width for a Midori notebook. And you know, when you've got your notebook all together, you just fold it over and trim it off so it's even. So if you're resizing, you don't need to trim it both ways. So if it prints this way, like the weekly sheets do, you just trim off the sides, fold it in half, trim off the sides. If it prints vertically like the daily pages do, again, you just fold it in half, trim off the top and bottom. That is not the same as for letter size. If you want to know about letter size, go and talk to Carrie Harling, because she's American and she deals with letter size. This is for A4 paper, anybody who's printing on A4 paper. So the key difference with the 2.2, it's just a tweak to 2.1. It's not it's not completely different or anything. She's changed it so that you used to have, here's June. Bear in mind that mine is MacGyvered a little bit. You used to have, this is the months here, and then the first week of the month would be there. And then on the back you had your weekly chart, your monthly chart. Now she's changed it, and I think it's a heck of an upgrade actually. Instead of having, you still have your monthly chart, instead of having your first week here, you've actually got these. This is objectives, which presumably is for the month, and notes, and then you've also got reminders. And then your first week, so it would have printed out like that before, with looking like this here, but she's split this out, so now you've got all this extra space. So you've got reminders you can put in, and you can put them in because they're by the calendar, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You can put them in for specific days. So, you know, Wednesday the 18th, don't forget so-and-so's birthday, you know, or whatever, post such and such on Friday the 8th or whatever. That's for important stuff. So I keep my sticky notes here, so that, you know, these are ones that have been paid in June, but I haven't allocated them for July yet. So I stick them here so that when I do my monthly swap over, I know I paid them in June, and now I can go and allocate them for July. Not on here means I didn't pay it in June. Need to sort that out. The only exception to that is my recycling and bin day stickers. I do those because they leapfrog every other week, and I can never ever remember what day they're due, so I leapfrog those. That's already stuck on the right week. So monthly task chart, month and reminders, objectives and notes, and then your weeks print out like this. And I think, I can't remember what's under this page. I think it's blank. I think it's just, I don't have any because I've used all mine for something, but I think it's just a, hang on, bear with me. 1 second. One of those. I believe that page is one of those. I've MacGyvered mine, and I actually stuck my planner, weekly planner page. This is the new weekly planner page. Now this has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, etc. It's got a list, and it says my month 2014 weekly whatever planner. So if you've got like what can I think of? Let's use Carrie as an example. Carrie has a whole heap of kids and things that she organises. If she wanted to put her husband's work schedule on here, because it changes every week, she could put that separately. And if she wanted to put the boys' work schedule and a list for, you know, when different school events are or something like that, you could use this as a meal planner and a shopping list. You could use it as a record of medicines taken, you know, all that kind of stuff. You could use it as a health tracker. You could use it as a weights and measures tracker. You know, if you're on a diet or you're looking after your health or whatever, you could use it as a weight tracker. And then this could be your grocery list, your medicines list, your need to restock on this list, whatever. All sorts of uses for this. Then your weeks, you've still got your appointments, and then on the back you've got this, which is a weekly review. It says last week, but I actually use it for this week, because the way I've printed it out, I've got July, and then weekly review refers to June, which is in a completely separate book. So I'm using this weekly review for this week, Initially I set it up like this so I can see the dates, because if it's set up that way you can't see what week you're on. So I set it up this way, that week I can go through the weeks and see the dates. It's just, to me it's just easier to have it like that. And then as I go through each week I swap it over. This is my weekly review, notes, so if I'm, like this week I've had to talk to Samsung about my old phone, so I've got information for who I've spoken to and stuff like that. I'll put that on there. You've got what's most important this week, and then you've got another bullet list. I use this for my projects for the month or the week, and then most important this week, again that's just sticky notes. So when I'm doing my monthly organisation I'll go through this and I'll go, okay, that's due on the 2nd, so that'll be week 27, so I'll put that on there for now. Bam. This is on the 28th, so that will go back here somewhere. What's most important this week? Pay the electricity. So, you know, that's what I would do at my monthly thing, and then when I do my weekly one, I will go through and work out what day it's going to go on. And I'm just going to put these back so I don't confuse myself and look at that and go, where's all my stickies gone? So what's most important for week 27? Oh, it's bin day. It's a bin week instead of a recycling week. And I get confused. So when I get to week 27, I'll go, ooh, look, it's a bin week. Right, that's on Thursday. So that needs to go there. Like that. See? So I can see what's important and I know I can allocate what day I'm going to do it. This turned into a DIY fish update, didn't it? Sorry. I was doing I got sidetracked. Maybe I'll put this in a separate video. Anyway, that's my new fish inserts. I'm not using the old weekly planner on here because what I've found is with this, I tend to have things happening all over the place. So this is all stuff that I know I'm going to have to pay next week, and I get my money through on a Wednesday and Thursday. So I put those down for Wednesday and Thursday, but after that on the list I'll have things for Monday and Tuesday, because I won't do that bit of the list until I've finished this week, and that kind of annoys me. I end up with things dotted around all over the place, and that's why I find it confusing of what I need to do. So instead I'm going to start using this. Monday, things I need to do. If I've got lots and lots and lots of to-dos, I can always put it on here. So I thought I would use, right, things I must do Monday, or things I want to get out of the way on Monday, and then this is kind of a bullet list of other things I want to do this week. And, you know, if I get to Monday and I get everything done and it's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll pick something off the list and go, oh, I'll do that. I'll do that this afternoon, get that sorted, and I can cross it off. That's how I'm intending to use these. So I've got July, August, September printed out in here. That's that. And then this is my other half of my Ziploc pocket, which has got some more diary stickers, other bits and pieces that I use, my sticky dots and things that Renee very kindly sent me, and I've got some of the amazing transparent post-its, which I adore. So that is my everyday planner carry type thing that I take everywhere with me. This goes everywhere. It goes upstairs, it goes downstairs, it goes to bed with me, everything. Where I go, it goes.